Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Welcome to the Spirit Lounge podcast with me, David,
And me, Glenda.
and we are psychic mediums from both sides of the pond.
I'm in Australia,
And I'm in the UK.
and we're joining forces to discuss and talk about the world of psychics, mediumship, and all things spiritual. We might even throw some random life topics in there too.
So come with us now on our podcast journey. Let's see what's happening in the Spirit Lounge for today's episode. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Spirit Lounge. I'm here as always with Glenda. Hello, Glenda.
Hi, David. Hello, listeners. How's your week been, David?
I'm still alive.
You're
Just
still alive?
yeah, still alive. How about yours? Been a bit
Yeah,
tough. It's a bit stressy.
yeah, it's been a bit emotional, I think. I've spoke before on the podcast that I have a stalker, and sometimes in this line we do get stalkers, and I have a stalker that likes to slander me all over social media. But the sad thing is, she's just kind of projecting all her negativity out to the universe, which doesn't affect me. So I think if anyone is going through something like that, just don't give it energy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, other than that, I have qualified as a professional hypnotherapist. So
Oh, well
look,
done. Well, that round of applause,
yes,
people, please.
yes, I know, it was massive. Oh my God. But yes, now I can hypnotize people. Maybe I can hypnotize my stalker, make her to go the fuck away.
Give it a go.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. So yeah, I'll be able to do some new things. I'm looking at putting up some past life regressions and things like that. I'll be able to help people with move through some heavy stuff in their life. And there's a lot of people that do this sort of work that aren't qualified, and it's a bit scary and it's a bit of a worry. So you have to really put in the work on how to be able to, put someone through deep enough into
Yeah.
that trance state to go into their subconscious without just fiddling around on the outskirts. So yeah, interesting times ahead, I think, but busy with work and moving forward. And here we are, Friday. We're recording another podcast.
Yes, and this week, people, we are going to talk about, and it's a topic that me and Glenda might have slightly different opinions about this week. And we're talking manifesting and that whole manifesting industry, and you can manifest this, you can manifest that. And I know Glenda and I have got slightly different views on it. Now, Glenda, you're quite big on the manifesting. So
I
talk to us
am.
about your thoughts on it.
Oh, look, David, there's so much bullshit on Tickety Talk and all the industry out there with social media. And here, I'll send you this spell and you can do this and you can manifest this. And I don't believe in that shit. You know what I mean? It goes deeper than just a wish or a dream or, I just want this. And people expect these things to happen that they're not actually consistent with what they need to do, or they're not actually doing that work that they have to manifest. Um, it is powerful, and there is proven facts that it does work. So, yeah, I'm all about it. I do a lot of manifesting, and every time I do, it comes true. So I'm just like, tick, I can do it. What about you, David? Come on,
I don't
speak
want
your
to
truth.
sound like a old man here, but um, I look from the way I look at it is manifesting for me is about creating, but to create there needs to be action behind it. And I think
Yes.
the way manifesting it, well, the way I see it from my perception, and it's not necessarily a fact, it's just from what I see. Many practitioners out there who sell these manifestation courses and you can manifest whatever you like. I feel that they're selling you down the river because not all of them, but with some practitioners, they are selling their courses as, well, if you sign up with me, you can manifest whatever it is you like in your life. And they make it all airy fairy, and all you've got to do is wish and think about this. And I look at that and go, my mind can't go there because what you're saying is that we can have anything that we want in life, and we know that that is not true. Because if you look at even if you look at money, and money is, but for me, actually, let's rewind that a little bit. When it comes to manifesting, it seems to be, from what I see, all about the material things. You want to manifest that money, you want to manifest that car, you want to manifest that house, you want to manifest having more, 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 more. And for me, that's got nothing to do with spirituality, because
Hmm.
the opposite of spiritualism is materialism. So it's not the same thing. And so a lot of these spiritual practitioners are doing this. Let's sell the idea of manifesting this, manifesting that. And I just don't, I can't, my mind can't go there, because I think, well, that's surely, if you want to manifest anything, it's manifesting a better life. Yes, you might think money brings you a better life, or maybe a house or a car brings you a better life, but when all that's gone, what are you left with?
Yeah,
Does the death of a loved one, does that make you, does the manifesting of a car or a house override the death of a loved one? What's more
yeah.
important? And I think, look, if it's sold in the right way, and it's more realistic, then I don't necessarily, I'm not telling anyone not to manifest, because it makes you feel better, makes you feel better. But I think for me, for me to manifest something, it's about actually doing it. So you can think about it as much as you like, but if you're not putting any effort into actually getting it, then you know you're not going to manifest it at all. And so that's just one aspect of my thoughts around it. I have got more, but I want to see what you say about that.
I agree. So if we kind of rewind and go, well, if you're happy in life, why do you need all of these things? So should we manifest a happy life? Should we be more focused on the inward journey rather than the outward journey? But that also makes you happy. The outer stuff makes you happy as well. So even though you're happy on the inside, you need to be happy on the outside as well. So let's just take let's just take a little snip. Let's just use a holiday, okay? We'll just use a basic holiday, right? Every working person looks forward to a holiday. You can manifest a holiday. You can, okay? The negative traits of that is I can't afford it. I don't have time to do that. I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got all of this, right? So you're then going on to that negative aspect of it, that self-doubt. But why do you need a holiday? You need a break. So again, you're treating the outer and the inner. Does that make sense? So do you know what I mean? Like you need to do both sides, the inside and the outside. It's not just about focusing on the outer stuff. You have to tell the truth at the beginning. So if I was to say to you, let's just be real about things, are you telling the truth about what you want? If you're manifesting, what is it that you truly want? So, David, what would you like to manifest? Can
A
you
genuine
answer me
question.
that? Genuine. Can you tell me something you'd like to manifest?
I don't know. Um, but I guess 'cause I don't sit here and manifest things, there's
Yeah.
nothing fresh in my mind to go, I would like this. Eventually,
Okay.
would like our own house
Your
that we
own
could buy,
house.
right?
Right.
But I
Right.
know that's
Okay.
not a reality for me, and I'm very real about that. I can give you an example about that in a minute as well when it comes to manifesting.
Okay. So with that, you've started off with a negative straight away. So like that's a negative straight up. That's not real. I'm not being realistic. I can't afford a house. But you don't know what tomorrow will bring. And you put that negative out there already. So I feel like I need to change your mindset already to a positive. You have to think about positives. You have to already picture yourself in that house. Like I feel like you have to visualize yourself in that house. You have to be consistent with thinking about what you want. How am I going to make it? But you also have to put in the effort of making that happen. And whether that is putting money aside all the time or, working towards something like that, you have to make it happen. You can't just say, oh, righto, universe, bring me a fucking house, because it's not going to happen.
No,
It's
but
not going to happen. But so, what are the negative aspects of you thinking that you can never manifest a house?
it's unrealistic. So let me let me say I do agree that there is something in that positive mindset. So I agree with that. And we always say if you think negative, you attract negative, and if you think positive, that's the only way you're going to move forward with things is with a positive mindset. So
Mm,
if I look at my book, for example, that I wrote, if I had sat there going, I can't write a book, I can't write a book, then that book was never ever going to happen. But if
yeah,
I paid attention to those intuitive downloads and that intuition, which was telling me write a book, and I went, okay, let me see if I can write a book. Straight there, straight away, I've switched my mindset and I wrote that book and it was published because it was in me to do it. So whether you call that manifesting or creating, whatever you want to put on it, that it only happened because yes, I said to myself, well, actually, then I can do it. But I made it happen. It didn't write itself, and I think that's the difference. What I'm seeing out there, people are selling it as you can have anything you want, do anything you want. But again, unless you actually make the effort to make it happen, then it's not going to
yeah.
happen. This is not magic. We're not living in a magical kingdom here. Nothing's magically going to happen, and that's my issue with a lot of the manifesting. But come back to a question about the house, right? And this is why I don't necessarily believe in how we can have everything we want. So when we were thinking about moving from London to where we are to Aylesbury, um, I was in my house like, right, okay, I want a house and we need to move quite quickly, and so I started to go into panic mode a little bit because we didn't have long left on our lease. That we need to find somewhere, and so we came over to Aylesbury for the day, and we saw a house, went into a house, and I liked it. It's quite small, smaller than what we have now actually, and we both liked it. And I think because I was in panic mode, I said, "Okay, this is the one. This is the house that I want." And so I went home every day. I was trying to whole manifesting thing. I was seeing myself in the house. I was seeing in my head where I was going to put the furniture, blah blah blah. Didn't get the house. I thought, well, if it's manifesting so real, and I've manifested the shit out of this house, why have I not got it? If it's that easy, why do we not get that house? Why do we have to go through another couple of weeks of torture to try and find a place? And so this is my thoughts on this, how I live my life in general. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and there are some things we're meant to have and some things we are not meant to have. And because that is my mindset, I don't believe manifestation works with that because, and I'm saying this because a lot of these practitioners who sell the thing of you can have whatever you want are the same people who are saying, but we're meant to have what we're meant to have. Then why are you selling the fact that people can have whatever they want if you're saying that we're not meant to have this? Some of us are not meant to own a house. Some of us are not meant to have a load of money. If that's your thought process, which is mine, this is not aimed at you. This is just in general.
Mm,
Why these people at the same time saying, "Come and do my course, and you can manifest that house"? Yes, but you just told them that things happen for a reason, and some things were meant to happen, some things were not. So how does manifestation work with that? That's what I don't get, and that's why it feels a little bit to me like these people that are selling these courses and selling this idea are conning people, selling people down the river because that mindset of we're meant to have what we're meant to have is not doesn't work with manifesting anything you want. Because if that was the case, we'd all have a load of money. If we can manifest everything we want, you wouldn't have parents going to food banks to
struggling.
feed their children. If they can
Yeah,
manifest that food, why is that not happening?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't quite again, I'm not saying people are like it sounds like I'm
Full of
kind of like
shit.
it's all bullshit. But from what we see, the reality of the world, let's face it, we all want a bit more money, right? I'd love my own house. And I'm not trying to be negative about saying I'm never going to get it, but I will not own my own house, unfortunately, until one of my parents die. That sounds really terrible to say, but I
Yeah,
think everybody is in that same position these days. It wasn't like it was back in my parents' day where they bought a house for £40,000, right?
yeah.
You can't even get a shed for that. these days.
Yeah.
And so unrealistic, the fact that, look, if I was not working and my other half was not working or earning a really small amount, or his work earning really small amounts of money, then no, we're never going to buy a house because that is not the reality. But the fact is, we are both absolutely exhausted. He's working 60-hour weeks. I'm on the road a lot doing my art job, doing my mediumship thing, doing this, that, and the other, and we still can't get a deposit together. But that's
Yeah.
just, I can't magically manifest that money because I have no more capacity within me to do any more work to bring any more money in. And so for me, that's not my reality. So in my mind, if I go back to my thought process of we're only meant to have certain things, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe we're not meant to own a house. Maybe we're only meant to rent for the rest of our life. Because I then go deeper and go, well, because if I did buy my own house, we have no dependents to leave our things to. My brother and sister don't have any kids, so there's no one left behind us to leave anything to. So is that the reason why we're not meant to own a property? Because we've got no one to give it to. We've got no assets at the end of it when we pop our clogs to then give it to. So I
Yeah.
think start to think of these chain of events of what maybe that's why we're not meant to have that, which is why some people are not meant to have a load of money. Maybe we're meant to have something else instead. Maybe we're meant to go like we go on holiday as much as we can. Maybe that's what we're meant to have, and we're not meant to have. Maybe we're meant to have the experiences of life, and not
Yeah.
those more physical things in life. So therefore, I can manifest a house as much as I like, but it's not going to happen because I'm not meant to have it.
I think that there has to be, you have to be accountable for some realistic and unrealistic expectations of manifesting.
Tell us.
You do. You do. I think that you have to, there's certain parameters within manifesting. People say you can have anything you want. Well, some people also, if I'm going to jump on that negative bandwagon, some people also want to be parents and cannot conceive. And
Absolutely.
they're not given that opportunity. So again, if we take that back to then is that their path they're supposed to walk in this lifetime? Is that the contract that they sign before they come in? Because I'm always all about contracts and stuff like that. But I always think that there's certain things that you can manifest. And then whether that is just the experiences that you have, I think that you should maybe manifest more of those experiences. You know what I mean? Like, so be realistic within your manifesting of what you expect you can achieve and what you can't. You have to put in the work with a lot of this stuff.
I
But
have to, yeah.
who's to say you don't go down the street tomorrow and get a lottery ticket, David, and fucking win a house or,
That's
win
why I
the
don't
money
do
to
it.
buy a house?
But I
See?
do,
But
no, I do. But I do our postcode lottery, which I've done for since we've moved in. And but like I said,
which is,
about anybody else down the street as well that does that.
yeah,
Why are they not Why are they not winning it? If they're I'm sure they're also manifesting the shit out of that. Why are they not winning it? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think I don't. It's not. I'm dismissing manifesting altogether. It might sound like I am, but it's more aimed at the people within the industry of it who are telling people you can manifest whatever you like. Because as you say, there are some painful things in life that people want and they don't have, like children.
yeah,
To say to a
exactly.
parent, "I would that's ridiculous." Some women really want children; they can't naturally have them.
That's right. So I think that there has to be a realism, or is that even a word? You have to be realistic about what you're asking for and within your life, within your circumstance of what you can and can't have. I think that you can manifest certain things, but then it comes back to why do you want to manifest those things? Is it just the material things that are making you happy, or is it the inner, so in the inner things that you want to manifest that make you happy? So again, what is your truth about manifesting? Why do you need this? Why do you want this? So I again bring it back to the need and the want of it. And is it, is it, can you make this happen as well? Because the universe is just not going to plop it into your hands.
And
You
that's my
have
whole
to put
thing.
in that work. The people just think, oh, well, you're not, I keep asking the universe, they're just not bringing me a man. Well, of course, they're not going to bring you a man. You have not got off the lounge watching Netflix and made yourself available. You've shut the front door. No man knows that you're available, but you want to manifest a man. Or I
Yeah.
hear so many times, I just want my loved one in spirit to send me the perfect man. It's like, oh my Lord, like there's so much expectation out there and around manifesting and the need and the want. So again, how much work are you putting in towards what you want and what need is it for you to have that?
No, I
I'm
agree.
kind of like,
Yeah.
like I'm
No,
trying to be real with it. I'm
yeah,
not
no,
airy fairy about it. I'm not
mm,
full of shit about it. If I'm manifesting something, it's something like, right, I'm manifesting to come over to see you guys in the UK. That's my manifesting. Is it something that I can make happen? Sure, because I can work towards it. It's not unachievable. Do you know what I mean, David? It's not something that it will never happen. I've done it once, I can do it again.
mm,
It's just what I put my mindset to, I'm thinking about it. I'm looking over here. Yes, this, the UK here. Yes, I want to go, meet more new people. I'm meeting new people every day. These podcasts is taking me to so many different, fields and meeting different people. I want to go out and meet them. I'm putting myself out there. We're putting ourselves out there. It's like you saying, I'm going to come over to Australia. Absolutely, you can make that happen. Again, you're being real about it. So,
yeah, and I think that the word manifesting needs to be removed and needs to be replaced with a phrase which is creating an opportunity or working towards something, because that's what it is. It's not
yeah.
about, in my opinion, it's not about sitting down with a bit of paper, humming to meditation music and writing down 10 times
Oh
on a sheet
God.
of paper, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. If you're That's not doing anything. That's just, no, writing a thought down, but that's not putting it into action. So like you said, manifesting is about putting your focus on that thing that you want and then working towards it to manifest it, look for a better word, manifest it at the end, or create, or that's that. To me, manifestation is the output of something you've worked towards.
Yeah, it's about for me, it's about my beliefs. So I believe that I will get to go to the UK again. It's clarity. I have to have clarity around this. Okay, how I'm going to make this happen. This is the way it's going to be. I have to have a plan. I'm going to put work into it. There has to be feelings behind it. I love that place. I want to go back. I want to do all of this. And then I have to put it into action. Again, it
Absolutely.
falls back on me putting the work in, not me just going, bring it to me, universe. That is full of shit. And burning a few herbs going, I'm manifesting this trip
Yeah,
over to the UK. Come on. Like
yeah,
burning a couple of bay leaves is going to bring me a trip to the UK. Let's be real, people. You have to put in the work if you want something to happen. Without any of the hard work, it's not going to happen. You have
absolutely.
to have this belief that you're already there. I have to believe that it's going to transpire. I have to remove all the negative blocks to make this happen. But again, what is it that is achievable for me?
Yeah,
I'm not going to be able to say I'm going to manifest a baby. How am I going to manifest a baby? I've had a hysterectomy. What, just magically fucking appear? Really? Like,
yeah,
it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to be real about things. And this is where these people are making money and they're getting on stage and they're spruiking all of this stuff and taking people's money, and it's by the thousands. But at the end of the day, they still haven't got any closer to their goals or their dreams.
no.
So
And I think
what's
some
real
of
and
that,
what's
I think
reality?
yeah, and I think some of that is that people are not meant to have certain things. And I believe
No.
I know people listen to saying, well, I manifested and I received this. And my answer to that
Yeah.
is, well, maybe that's because you were meant to have that. Maybe it's because you were
Yeah.
meant to experience that. Maybe it's because you were meant to have that at that time. Again, I believe that we have what we need to have and what we're given. Um, and so that's my answer to that. But my question to you also, Glenda, is, it's not to challenge you, by the way, because I know you've got, different thoughts in different areas, like the soul contract thing, because I don't quite know what my
Yeah.
mind thinks about that. So, how would you reconcile then our soul contracts to then what we have? Because if we're saying that the soul contract, I mean, I know a lot of it is to do with free will as well, right? We've got free
Yeah.
will to do
Yeah.
certain things. But if your soul contract said you sign up for a life which says you can have many things, but this thing over here you're not meant to have, you haven't signed up for that. How do you then reconcile that with manifesting? So if a practitioner says, well, if you want it, you can manifest it. Hang on, my soul contract said that I'm not meant to have that. So then how do I now manifest something I'm not meant to have?
So, but who said that? Like the contract, you might have that contract before you came to say that you're supposed to live that certain life, and but that's where the free will comes in to be able to change things, to be able to try and change things. We have that free will to be able to challenge this, because again, remember, this is an experience that we're having here. So you either can try or you don't try at all. I will always try and I'll always push the boundaries. If someone says no, you can't do that, I have to push the boundaries because I can't handle the word no. I have to prove them wrong. I have to like, no, I can do this, and I will push the boundaries to proving that I can do it. So in
No, because
in the
soul
con
contract, we don't have any control over that because we don't physically here now, we don't know what we've signed up for
We don't know.
unless
That's
we're
why I'm saying we need to
unless we're
try. We need
experiencing
to
it.
we need to experience it. So we need to try unless we know, because we don't know what we signed up for, unless you do these regressions and you do all these um, past life stuff that you can understand why things are happening. Again, things happen in the past, in a past life, and then things follow through in this life. We get to change that here now. So that's what I feel. We might have these contracts that say that we're here for this, but there's certain things we can change and certain things we can't change. It's like saying, I'm in a wheelchair, I'll never be able to walk again. And they're saying you'll never be able to walk again. Well, I'm going to manifest, I'm going to fucking walk again. But I'm going to give it everything I've got to change that. And I'm going to keep fighting till I can walk again. It's the same as
Okay.
having cancer. It's the same as having cancer. So someone would say, you signed up to have cancer. I'm not going to fucking give up without a fight. I'm going to do everything in my power to fight that cancer. I'm not just going to give up.
Yeah.
So if you've got cancer, you're going to manifest, you're going to do everything you can to change that outcome and not give in. Does that make sense to you? I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
saying that. Does that make sense?
That's no, I suppose then that comes back to what I said earlier on then. Let's take the wheelchair example. So let's say you're on a wheelchair and you're told you can't walk again and you try and try and try. And I
Yeah.
suppose it's there that if you end up not being able to walk again,
Yeah.
then that wasn't meant for you.
No, that's
But if you
right.
but if you did manage to walk again, then that was the outcome for you. You've been
That's
told you
right.
maybe that's where it comes back then. There's some things we're meant to have, some things we're meant to experience, some things we're not.
We're not, but without
But
trying,
without
without
trying, we
having
don't
that
know. Yeah.
will and that power and that want, you you just not going to know.
Not gonna know.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's where I kind of come in and go, okay, well, unless I try and unless I give it everything I've got, I'm not going to know.
Yeah. And we could go down
So
rabbit holes all over the place with this because I
I
then
know,
my
I
in
know.
my thought now come back to the cancer thing because my mum had cancer last year
Yeah.
and luckily touch wood she's fine. Um, but then I think you look at some of the horrendous diseases that we have on this planet like Alzheimer's and dementia,
Hmm.
one of the
Hmm.
cruelest
Hmm.
diseases you can ever come across. If
Yeah.
and this might sound really ridiculous, but it's just to put a thought out there. Again, if manifestation was so real, why can't we just manifest a cure for that horrible, horrendous disease? Because
Exactly.
there were people listening to this podcast who have experienced their loved ones going through it, that horrendous time, and they're also probably listening to this going, yeah, why did my parent or grandparent have to go through that? If manifestation is so real, why can't we manifest a cure for this disease or other
Yeah.
diseases like cancers? Why is that not a real thing? and that sounds really ridiculous because it's not as simple as that, I know, but it's all these things that I think about that if it's so easy, why can't a scientist sit at his desk and go, right, let's manifest this, what can we do next, and drop the inspiration into my head, but it's not there, and
No,
we're still
but it might be
looking
there, but
for
it
it.
comes, but if then you're going into the money, so they're going to be shut down no matter what. They don't want to have an answer for this. But that's going into the conspiracy and all the shit that I don't get into. But I really do believe there is a cure for cancer. There is one out there. I really do
Mm,
believe it. But it's been shut down because there's more money to be made. It comes back to money again. Everything comes back to money instead of cure and help. So my old girl had breast cancer twice. She beat it twice, just like your mum beat it. And in the end, dementia. Could she beat dementia? No, she couldn't. She had to have a fall and have a brain bleed to then go. Could I manifest that her outcome was going to be any different? No. Again, that
no.
brings it back to, was that her soul contract?
That's her soul contract. That was the time.
That's her soul contract. Well, because if her soul contract was to expire earlier, she would have went with the breast cancer
That's the breast
twice.
cancer. Yeah,
Twice.
yeah.
Like, who beats breast cancer twice? That is
Mm,
like a freaking miracle. No, it didn't take her. And she kept thinking, oh my God, the cancer's going to come back. And I kept saying, no, it's not. It's not going to come back. Well, what am I going to die of, Glenda? That's not going to be your breast cancer. You've beat it twice. You've proven that, that you can beat that. But she couldn't beat the Alzheimer's, like the dementia. There's no exit there.
yeah,
So there's certain things that you can fight, like with
yeah,
that cancer. I've done so many weeks healing with a client. I can't even remember, 6, 10 weeks of healing. She had bowel cancer, and every week we would get together, and she would have her chemotherapy. And I'm not against Western medicine. I have grown up with medicine, again, both of us in pharmacy and in hospital, and I don't judge, and I feel that it has its place. And we did our side of healing. Every week we got together. I focused on working on creating new cells in her body and getting rid of all the old cells, but also through that helping her deal with all her past traumas that have contributed to this cancer, because there's so many things that we hold on to that becomes disease in our body. So
mm,
we worked on that every week, and it was only two or 3 weeks ago she sent me the message, my cells are clean. I don't have cancer. So was that chemo? Was that our mindset? Was that the healing? Was it manifesting? What was it that she beat that?
yeah.
So I think you just can't give up. You can't give up. But I'll help you manifest a house, David, if you want.
Yes, please. That'd be very nice. I can see me sat down here now with a pen and paper and sitting in a lotus position, humming while smacking my singing bowl and and all that jazz.
Just come to my place and do that. You can do that by the pool. I'll bring all the bloody bowls out for you. You can smack every one of them.
I'll be there tomorrow.
So yeah, like I think that you have to be realistic about it.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're going to get people that are just like, you pair are so full of shit. You're on the negative bandwagon and all that. No,
Well,
I
no,
just
it's
think
not
that
even that. It's talking about it because it just
it is.
I don't like when people have been made taken a fool of. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like that in general
Mm,
anyway. And when I see things are not true or people have been sold down the river, trying to beat something because they're going through an horrendous time, and someone says, "Oh, just do this," and it's magically disappear. No, it fucking won't. Some people go through terrible times, and to be sold this and sold that, and it's no different than mediumship. People are going through a hard time, and some medium gives them some horrendous piece of evidence or what they call evidence, and it just damages people rather than actually helping them. So it's just about being
exactly.
realistic about it. But it is also, as you said, the point is, if you want something, people, it's about doing something about it. It's like I would come back to the job interview. Let's say you're going for a job interview because you really need a job. So you've manifested a job, right? Um, and you have been called for, and you send your CV in, and you are going for this job interview, and you do no preparation for it whatsoever. You don't study questions. You don't ask questions. You don't think about what questions you might be asked. You do no interview prep whatsoever. You go for that job interview, and you don't get it. You got to think why. You might have manifested the opportunity because you handed your CV in, but you've not manifested that job because you've done no preparation for it. So no,
Yeah.
you're never going to get that job and not meant to have that job. But if you prepare, if you put into action, you manifest this position by seeing yourself there. You prepare for the interview. You go looking suited and booted. You dress the part. You've thought about intelligent questions to ask. If you get that job, then you've manifested it because you have put the work in. But if you still do all that preparation but don't get the job, you weren't meant to have it. But there's another opportunity that you're meant to have. And that's how I look at things. Is that if
Yes,
we prepare for it, and even if we don't get it, we've worked our arse off to get it and we don't get it, again, come back to my mindset that that wasn't meant for me. I was meant to be
that's right.
elsewhere. I'm meant to be doing something else. So it's not taken for
Yeah.
granted just because we put the effort in, we're going to get it. We might, like, this is just my mindset. You might have a different mindset, Glenda, but my mindset is if we work our arse off to get something, we don't get it. I'm not meant to have it. And actually, well, that drops into my head. Another example. When I worked for an online accommodation website, um, there are quite a
I
few out
love
there.
this
That
website.
I don't know if I do product placement, but no, I was yeah, and I was working in the Cambridge office, and I had been promoted to work in the training and quality. We call it the T and Q department, the training and quality department. So we had trainers, and then we had quality control associates, which is what I was doing. So now when you have that voice note on the telephone line saying your call might be monitored for training quality purposes, that's what I was doing. So I was quality checking people's emails and phone calls.
Were you?
That's what I was doing, and then coaching people through that. And so one of our trainers was leaving, and my manager said to me, "Would you think about going for the trainer position?" And so I thought, maybe I'll give it a go. So I was up against, that was in my own team, right? So I prepared for it. I prepared my my little mini training session I had to deliver to the panel, and I was up against a girl who was not even in our team. She was a customer service agent, and so we both had obviously prepared. We both delivered our mini training session, and of course, because I'm in that department already, I thought I've got a quite good chance of getting it because I kind of know the ins and outs of the team and what goes on in the department. Anyhow, I didn't get it. The girl who was not in the team got the job, and so I thought, oh, never mind. Bit deflated. But anyhow, I
Mm.
carried on with my job and I wasn't too negative about it. I thought, you know what, I didn't get it. I'll just sit here and just do what I'm doing, right? And then I was given, and because of my attitude and my behaviour, I was given the opportunity to be an assistant now and again to another trainer while she was training a new group of people. Because I worked at it and I showed my willing, and I wasn't going, I didn't get that job, so I'm not helping out. That wasn't my attitude. My attitude was, well, it's this thing, work through whatever, experience. What ended up happening was that the girl who got the position very quickly fell pregnant and was very, very sick with her pregnancy. So there were a load of classes that had to be taught, which she couldn't do. So on the Wednesday afternoon that week, the my manager called me into a room and said, "Right, would you like to take a training session on Monday?" Oh, bollocks! Because I was kind of completely put out of mind. I went, "Okay, I'll give it a go." Not having any of the training material or whatever to do to train out, Anyhow, on the Monday, I started the training course, which was 4 weeks long at a time. Each training session was 4 weeks at a time, and I got promoted to trainer. And from there on,
Yeah.
I travelled around Europe training people in our colleagues in our European offices and things like that. And so it was almost like I didn't get the job at the time, but it was meant for me ultimately. That was just meant to be my role in the end. So, but again, it's not because I sat on my arse and didn't do anything about it. No, and the attitude and having a negative attitude. It wasn't. I thought, okay, didn't get the job. I'll still continue my job, still doing what I'm doing, and I'll help out where I can. And because I put those things into action, the job ultimately ended up being mine, and she didn't come back into the position because she had to go off maternity leave really early. So there you go.
There you go. So, and it's see, also comes back to timing as well. And
I
it
believe that,
wasn't the
yeah.
right time. It wasn't the right time. So often I give so many predictions because I'm a predictive person, so I do the predictions. Um, in my readings, and people always say, "Oh my God, like you told me I was going to get a job at such and such." I get so many messages, so many texts. Only 2 days ago, um, someone messaged me and said, "You said my daughter was going to fall pregnant at this time. You were right." Like I get a lot of predictions right. And then there's so many times I've said to someone, you might not get this job, or it might not be the right time, but that's okay. It's not meant for you because what is meant for you will come around at the right time. But people feel a bit deflated by that. But sometimes it's not meant for them. So I will give you another example, just like you have. My dream job, I wanted to work in the hospital. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be phlebotomist in the hospital. I put in the effort. I went and paid for the course out of my own pocket to do because I wanted to do it. I wasn't expecting to go in and be trained. I wanted to be trained so I could just slip into the job. Went into working in a local place where they have the rooms scattered all through the suburbs. And they expected me to work from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. I had two small children. My husband was working away, and there was just no possible way that I could do that. But they said to me, look, we'll give you 3 months. This hours after that, you will have to sign a contract or there's no work for you here. I said, yeah, no worries. I did that. I thought this is a foot in the door. Again, I made the effort of doing all the work, putting in the effort. And then a job became available at the hospital. There's no way I'm going to get a job at the hospital. You have to be a really good phlebotomist to work at the hospital. Um, and people that worked up there have worked up there for years, not often that the position becomes available. I'm not good enough, but do you know what? I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to put in the effort. I'm going to put in the application and see if I get my foot in the door. I did. And, my old girl being a psychic, I said, I'm really going for this job. Do you reckon I'm going to get it? She said, yeah, but not straight away. And then I applied. No, no, no. She said to me, you will get this job. I applied for it. I went for the job. I was interviewed, and I was the one with only 3 months of this work behind me. I had just started in this field. All the other people that applied for it had years and years and years of experience. I wanted this job so badly. I turned around and I think what sold them on me was I said, I don't have all the dirty, filthy habits everybody else has. You can train me and mold me the way that you want me to work, and I will do that. And I got the job. I got the job, right? So I went back and then I was thinking, I've not heard anything about this. They said I've got the job, and that's when my mum said, you'll start, but there'll be a delay. And it was a delay. The paperwork was held back. But what she said to me next was something I never got out of my head. She said, you'll get this job. You'll love this job, but this job will destroy your health. Or what do you know? You're not going to tell me that. I don't want to know that negativity. So that's, again, be careful when you go for readings with people and the things they say to you. My mum had no filter. She said, this job will destroy your health. Years down the track, I was sexually assaulted. I had a nervous breakdown. It absolutely destroyed my health, like she predicted. But then look where it has brought me to what I'm doing now. I love what I'm doing. I'm doing readings, I'm connecting to loved ones in spirit, I'm doing healings, and I've never been happier in my life. So, again, was that part of my contract? Did I manifest the wrong thing? But I've been taken on a different journey. I think that we can also take control. There's our free will, my free will, where I took control of this. I wanted this, but I was redirected to what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I did put in the work, I manifested it all, I got what I did, and in the end, I didn't have what I wanted. I got what I was supposed to have, not what I
Yeah.
thought I was supposed to
Used to
have.
have. Yeah. An interesting thing you said there, Glenn, that do you think we can, I don't know if I believe it or not, it just popped in my head. Do you think we can manifest the wrong things?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how many people say to me, oh, I'm manifesting a guy, I'm manifesting a man? My first thing is, what kind of, you've just put out to the universe, I'm manifesting a man. So, number one, have you done the work through the healings of what you've been through? Are you just going to manifest the same pattern or the same person that you've walked away from? Number one is you need to put in the work and clear up all your shit. You don't want to manifest the same shit that you've had before. So, is you need to be very clear on what you're manifesting.
Yeah.
So, if you just put out there, I want this, I think that you can manifest just about anything. You need to be very specific on what you're asking for. So if I'm asking for a man, I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this, but that's just for my own. I need to put in the work there that I'm going to meet that person halfway. You can't just expect this to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need to get up off the lounge and I need to go put myself out there and I need to be healthy within myself and my mindset and be active and, and within my body and be happy with the way I look before someone else is going to love me and look at me for who I am. Do you know what I mean? You need to put in
Yeah.
that work because then you're just attracting what you don't want.
Mm.
You're attracting someone that is not going to love the person that you're happy with.
Yeah.
So that's where I believe you can manifest the wrong things. I
Yeah,
really do.
I think it's a lot to do with the mindset, isn't it? Is that if you've got a
It
negative
is.
mindset, then you're not going to attract anything new because you've told yourself you're not going to get that or you're not going to experience that. Well, no, you're not. If you're not putting your mind to it, you're going to almost repel yourself from that thing that you want because you're telling yourself you're never going to have it, you're never going to experience it, you're never going to go through it, etc., etc. Um, so yeah, that was just a thought just dropped in my head. Can we manifest the wrong things? But if I think about it in my terms anyway,
You can.
it's
You can
if you've
because
got
of
a
your
negative
mindset.
mindset, then you're never gonna. So if you keep
And if
manifesting, I don't feel well, I don't feel well. If you keep saying to yourself, I don't feel well, I don't feel well, eventually you're not going to feel well.
That's right, exactly right. But again, if you haven't done the inner work and you haven't healed from previous past relationships, you're going to just bring in the same shit that you used to. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's like you need to make those changes within yourself. Again, you need to make the changes. You need to put the effort in to what you're manifesting. So often I hear, oh my gosh, I finally found the right man. He wasn't the right man in the beginning. Now I've worked on myself. I took that time to work on myself and, really understand myself and what I need. And then the universe delivered. No, you actually put in the work. You
yeah,
put in the work. So when people are saying, I'm not finding a God, what are you actually doing wrong here? Are you doing something wrong? Are you meant to be single? Some people aren't meant to find someone. Same as some people are meant to not have children. So, it comes back to that. Are we supposed to have this or are we supposed to not have this?
yeah. And another example just dropped in my head. Is I was before I met my partner, I was single for nearly 11 years. When I looked at my best friend and other friends around me, they were all in relationships, and I was the only single one out here. But I look back at that and go, well, that's because I was meant to be,
Yeah.
because I learned to be able to look after myself, to rely on myself and nobody else, being financially independent as I was back then, been able to go on holiday when I wanted to with the friends that I wanted to and not be beholden to anything. Um, but that was just a part of my life where I grew. And if I'd have
That's
been,
right.
as much as I wanted to be in relationships back then. I think if I was, I wouldn't be where I am with the mindset that I have. And so I
You,
just
that's
wasn't
right.
meant to be in a relationship
You wouldn't
for,
have
no,
you wouldn't have what you've got now.
no,
You
exactly.
wouldn't
Because
have
now,
that.
yeah, because now I know, at this point in my life, I've got what I need, got what I wanted. Didn't
You're
necessarily manifest,
content.
and I didn't really necessarily manifest it because I wasn't when I went on holiday when I met my other half. It wasn't. Didn't go on holiday to go. Right, I'm going to manifest on this holiday. I'm going to meet the man of my dreams with a nice bum and good looking and all that kind of stuff. Right, I was on holiday with my best mate Emma, and we're having a lovely old time. And I met my other half. I didn't go there to manifest, but what that shows me is that that's who and what I was meant to have. That
Yeah,
holiday led to that situation,
that's
and
right.
I didn't manifest it. So again, it comes back to my thought process of, well, we're meant to have things at certain times. We're meant to meet the people we're meant to meet at certain times. No, Bill, our fairy godfather, Bill Hughes, came into my life at that certain time, and he was brought to me by another psychic 2 years before I even knew who he was. So with
Mm.
that said, also, I know we've gone on a bit here because the episode's going on for quite long, but do you think, how do I put this question, that the reason that you can predict and other people I know that can predict, they make correct predictions because that those situations that you've predicted are not free will, but they are in that person's energy, meaning they are part of that soul contract of that person that you're reading for. So, for example,
Maybe.
if I give you this example, so before I'd met Bill or knew anything about him, a a psychic who I know, a friend of mine, had given me a reading and described Bill to a T, how he looked, to the bald head, the glasses which you sometimes wear, the build, the stature, and what he would do for me is she said he would elevate my work and take me out there with him. That's him. He's done all of that. But I didn't know Bill at this point. I wasn't even aware of him, but she predicted him coming into my life.
Mm.
So I look at that and go, well, there must then be something in
The contract.
the contract, or what we say, we're meant to meet people that we're meant to meet. There are certain people that are meant to be in our life and certain people that we're not. So is that part of it? Obviously I didn't manifest Bill.
It could be. It
I,
could be the contract. It could be the contract.
is that what it
How
is?
how do, it could be. How do I know this? I don't know how I know the things that I know. They come into my mind. I see them. I feel them, and I give them. And a lot of the time, they're correct. With Bill, no one told me that Bill was coming. I manifested Bill. I actually asked Spirit to bring someone to me that would actually guide me in the right direction, that would have a friendship and the camaraderie that we have, and I manifested it. But I also manifested some of the other ones that didn't last. So again, I got a good one and a couple of bad ones. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was manifesting, because I think my opening line was to Bill when he reached out to me, was like, I manifested you. It was like, I actually manifested meeting you. And then the next minute I got a message. So I think that their auric field, their energy, I don't know if where some people are able, like me, I'm able to tap in a little bit deeper to be able to see their visions or their goals or their dreams or part of their contract. I just know things. I just know things. And how do I explain it? I don't know. I'm just told them. So,
Yeah. No, I put in my mind. I feel it's probably because as psychics, what we say, everything is stored in the aura of a person.
Yeah,
And obviously, when you're doing psychic work, that's what we're doing, we're reading the aura of the
we're
person.
reading.
And I think that the aura contains what's happened, what's happening, and what is to come because it's attached to their energy. So I feel like the reason we're able to give predictions is because that is in that person's energy. So we don't know
Yeah,
it consciously if we pick it up. I think that's what we're picking up. We're picking up what's meant to be part of that person's life, and therefore that's why it comes true. That's why Bill was there, although I didn't manifest him. Bill was there because it's obviously attached to my energy somewhere along the line. So it's always obviously always meant to happen. It comes back to me
hmm,
saying, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. And my mum lives their life that way as well. Very similar in that sense. So whatever's meant to be
that's
is meant
it.
to be. If it's not, it's not. Which is why again, manifesting doesn't quite in the way it's sold kind of resonate with me because it's not if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You can manifest as much as you like, but if it's not meant to be yours, it's not meant to be yours. That's just
That's what my
how I
mum
see
always
it.
used to say. My mum always used to
So
say, "What's meant to be yours, no one can take away from you.
yeah.
It's
So
always meant to be yours." And I always believe that. No one can take away what's meant for me.
no,
It's
exactly.
just meant for me. And that again makes me think, was it a soul contract? Is there something here
Yeah,
that and my soul was supposed to go through because no one can take that away from me?
yeah. Well, we
So
can go round and round the houses with this, I think. Because we always say we don't have the answers. This is just our opinion and our
no,
viewpoints on things, and so people out there listening to this might have different viewpoints, and that's fine. But this is just ours. Um, and also, what we say is not necessarily fact. It's just what we it's
no.
factual to us in our life experience, but it's just our opinion. But I think the overriding message really here is if you want to manifest like Glenda and not necessarily like me. take
You have to believe. You
take
have to
take
believe.
take Glynn's example. It's all about the mindset of doing. It's changing the
Yeah.
mindset to if I want this, in order for it to be the output, have a certain output, a certain outcome, I've got to put in the work to achieve that. It's not going to magically just disappear. It's not just going to magically appear in my lap just by sitting and writing in a diary. You've got to,
Yeah.
and just talking about it, you've got to actually put steps into action to get it. If I want to go on holiday, I need to make sure that I am working towards that holiday. I can say as much as I like, I want to go to Gran Canaria in November, which I am. Um, I can say that as much as I like, but if I am not putting in the work to earn the money to go on that holiday, then it's not going to happen. So
Yes, that's
it's
right.
about achieving. It's about putting the steps in because no one's buying me a ticket to go to Gran Canaria
No,
at all. I do it myself, but to do it myself, I've got work for it, and that's it.
that's right. That's right. You have to work for
Yeah, and I think Glenda, um, we'll wrap up the episode there. I was expected to be that. I said about an hour, I think. Didn't expect it to be that long, but hopefully, people, you enjoyed it, and maybe it got you thinking a little bit differently. Maybe it got you thinking about, okay, how can I change my mindset if there's something that I want? And if you don't get it, it's not about that you've done anything wrong. It's just again, maybe that this wasn't meant for you at this time. Maybe it meant to have that certain thing, but don't beat yourself up and go, "Oh, I manifested incorrectly. I didn't say enough amens at the end of my affirmation that I did." It's not about that. It's just about
it.
maybe, maybe it's just not meant to be for you at this point, but you're meant
Yeah.
to have something else instead. So I'm gonna shut up now because I'm just waffling on. So thank you, Glenda, as always.
Okay.
And thank you, listeners, for joining us in the Spirit Lounge. And hopefully, after this episode, you'll join us again in another one. But I want to say as well, people, actually, um, we are over 2,000 plays slash downloads, which I think is amazing. So thank you very much for those of you that are listening and continually tuning in and supporting us, and for the comments you've sent in as well. So we do thank you for that. But also, we want to try switch things up. Please, if you have a question that you want us to talk about or a topic you want us to talk about, then please do let us know. Please message us, whether it be through social media or emailing Glenda or myself, it doesn't matter, and we can turn your question into an episode, because as we say, it's about sharing knowledge, it's about educating, and it's just about having a chat about different topics, giving our perception or our perspective on it. So you may have a burning question which other people are also wondering about, and if you ask it, you're going to answer a question for loads of people, not just yourself. So get those questions in, and we will answer them on the podcast as well. But anyhow, once again, thank you for listening. Speak to you soon.
Thank you so much for joining us in the Spirit Lounge today. We hope you enjoyed the discussion.
Yes, and if there's a spiritual topic you'd like us to discuss, or if there's a spiritual question you'd like our input into, then please send those topics and questions to us at glenda-marie1@hotmail.com, and we will get to them as soon as possible.
Lastly, if you could like and share this podcast, as well as leaving us a comment or review about what you thought, then that would really help us out and we'd be very grateful.
We would indeed. But it's bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
Join us again soon in the Spirit Lounge.